So there's two HVAC techs. They're climbing out of the same company truck. They've got the same uniform, same toolbox, same job title. But one of these guys is making 22 bucks an hour, and the other one, he's clearing 45.
He's what?
It's the same company, same calls, same exact work order in their hands, and a $23 gap between them in pay. I've been in the trades over 30 years, and I've watched guys get passed over for raises they didn't even know they were eligible for. And the reason for that gap? It's not experience, it's not hustle, it's not even who the boss likes better. It's just one piece of paper most guys never bother to get. Guys, real quick, I put together a totally free 2026 Blue Collar Resource Guide. It's got links to getting started in union jobs, free apprenticeships, and grants to start up your own business, and much, much more. I cover all 50 states in this manual, and it's totally free, my gift to you. Just hit the link down in the description and grab your copy today. And while you're at it, tap that subscribe button and notification bell. It's also free to you, and it helps us bring fresh videos for you every single week. I sure appreciate you. Now let's get into it. Let me paint the picture for you guys, because this plays out in shops all over the country every single week. Two techs, let's call them Mike and Dave. Same company, same supervisor, and they're hired through the same training program, 18 months apart. Mike's got 6 years under his belt, right? He can diagnose a bad compressor by sound alone. He knows airflow. He knows refrigerant behavior. He's forgotten more than most rookies will ever even learn. Dave's got 2 years. He still calls the shop sometimes to double check a wiring diagram. That's cool, but Dave's take home is bigger than Mike's, a lot bigger. Mike's sitting at 22 bucks an hour. Dave's at 45. Like I said, it's the same truck, same tool belt, same dispatch board with a $23 gap every single hour, every single day. So what is actually going on here? Because it's not what you'd think. It's not seniority. Mike's got 4 more years in. It's not work ethic. Mike's the first guy in the shop every morning. It's not even who the boss likes more. The boss likes both of them. It's one decision Dave made that Mike kept putting off. That decision is a piece of paper. It comes down to a certification. Dave walked in day one with his EPA 608 already in hand. Mike, he never got around to taking the test. Now, if you're outside the trade and you don't know what this is, an EPA 608, it's the federal certification required to legally handle refrigerant. Type 1 covers small appliances. Type 2, it covers high-pressured systems. And Type 3 covers low pressure. And Universal, it covers all 3. Without it, by federal law, you can't touch refrigerant. It doesn't matter how good your hands are. It doesn't matter how cool you are with the boss. It doesn't matter how many systems you've watched get serviced. The law doesn't care about the talent. It cares about the card. Now this simple test, well, maybe not simple, it runs around $150, and most guys can study for it over a single weekend. A weekend for a permanent legal upgrade in what you're allowed to do on the job for the rest of your career. Then there's the NATE, North American Technician Excellence. That's the one that separates the guys who can pass a basic test from the guys who actually know installation and service at a professional level. Running you somewhere between $200 and $300 is all. It depends on the specialty track you pick. Stack those two together though, and you're in for under 500 bucks total is all. And compare that to what guys are doing instead. 4 years and $40,000 in student loans for a degree that might not even land them a job. And I've said this for almost 30 years and I keep on saying it. I have never seen a faster return on a few $100 than I have when watching guys get HVAC certified. Here's the part most guys never stop to think about. Why does the certification matter so much to the company? It's not about rules for the sake of rules. It's about liability. An uncertified tech mishandles refrigerant, a leak let's say, an improper disposal, a violation that gets reported, that's a fine that doesn't land on the tech, it lands on the company. Federal penalties for improper refrigerant handling can run into the tens of the thousands of dollars per incident and really piss the boss off, obviously. So when Dave walks in certified, the company isn't just hiring a tech who can do the work, they're hiring protection from a 6-figure mistake possibly. And that's why Dave, he gets the first pick on commercial accounts. That's why he's the one walking into the hospital, the office building, the job, where a screw up means real money on the line. The company can put him in front of that client without holding their breath. But Mike, he's stuck running filter swaps and thermostat changeouts because legally, that's all he's cleared to touch. It's the same skill level, completely different ceiling. And it's not a company being unfair, it's the company managing risk the only way they legally can. Now I know what some of you guys might be thinking, because I've heard every version of this excuse on a job site. I'll get certified eventually when I get time, or my company will pay for it when they need me to. Or how about, I've been doing this for years, I don't need a piece of paper to prove I can do it. I get it, but here's the math on that excuse. Every month you wait is a month you're working at Mike's rate instead of Dave's. Run that gap over a year and you're talking about leaving $40,000 to $50,000 on the table that you could have already earned. And companies know this. They're not in a rush to certify you for free, because the guy who pays for it himself and shows up with the card, he's already got it in hand. And that's the guy who gets the raise. They're not in a rush to certify you for free, because the guy who pays for it himself and shows up with the card already in hand, that's the guy who gets the raise without having to ask for it. Dave didn't wait for permission. That's the whole difference. So let's get into the numbers real quick, because I know that's what you guys usually come here for. Uncertified HVAC helpers, guys with zero credentials, are typically sitting in that $18 to $22 an hour range nationally. Some high cost of living markets push that a little higher. Some rural markets a little lower. The moment EPA 608 is in hand, that number moves, and it moves quick, because most guys see themselves jump into the $26 to $32 range within months of certifying. I'm not talking years, I'm talking months. And if you stack that NATE certification on top of that, especially in a specialty like commercial refrigeration or heat pump systems, and you're looking at $35 to $45 an hour in a lot of markets across the country. And master techs, multiple certifications, years of experience, maybe running their own crew on their own book of commercial clients. Those guys are clearing 70, 80, sometimes well over 6 figures a year. That's Mike and Dave's gap scaled up across an entire career. Same trade, same tools, completely different outcome. It's the trajectory. The fork in the road is one test most guys keep putting off for another month. Now here's where I want to bridge this gap for you, because knowing the gap exists doesn't help you one bit if you don't know how to actually close it. If you're early in your career, or you're sitting there right now thinking about getting into a trade that actually can reward you every time you level up, this is exactly why I point towards course careers, guys. You see, they build their program specifically around getting guys into high-paying trades fast without the 4-year degree, without $40,000 debt load hanging over your head for the next decade. HVAC is one of the tracks they cover, and they walk you straight through the exact certification path we just broke down. No guessing, no wasted time. I've got the link down in the description, guys. There's a free intro course. I think you'll love it, so go check it out. It's definitely worth 10 minutes of your time to see if it's the right fit for you where you're at right now in your career. Because here's the truth, guys. Mike's not stuck because he's not good enough. He's stuck because he never closed that gap. And every month that passes is another month of money he's never getting back. Dave didn't get lucky. Dave did one thing that most guys talk about doing and never actually do. So let's zoom out for a second, because the hourly numbers only tell half the story. Run Mike's path out 10 years. He stays uncertified maybe, picks up maybe $1 or $2 an hour in raises here and there, and he tops out somewhere in the low 30s an hour if he's lucky. Now over a decade, that's a career built on slow, scattered increases that never really catch him up. Now run Dave's path out the same 10 years. He certifies early, stacks the NATE with a couple of years, the NATE, picks up a specialty by year 5, and by year 10, he's either a master tech pulling 80 plus, or he's running his own 2-man crew doing commercial service contracts. You do the math, guys, on that gap alone over a full decade, and you're talking about a couple $100,000 in lifetime earnings separating the two of them, for two guys who started on the exact same day in the exact same uniform. And trust me, guys, demand isn't slowing down either. States with extreme heat and extreme cold, think Texas, Arizona, the Southeast, the upper Midwest, are seeing some of the tightest labor markets in HVAC right now, because every building on those regions absolutely depends on working systems year-round. Certified techs in those markets aren't just getting hired faster, they're getting fought over. I've talked to shop owners who told me straight up they'll pay a premium just to get a certified tech in the door the same week, because an uncertified guy sitting on their bench, it costs them more in turn down jobs than the raise would have cost them in the first place. So if you're an HVAC tech right now and you're thinking about getting into the trade, here's exactly how this plays out. Certification isn't optional anymore. It's the difference between being stuck on basic maintenance calls for the next 10 years or so, or being the guy the company literally cannot afford to lose. So step 1, guys, get your EPA 608. That's the floor. You cannot legally touch refrigerant without it, so there's zero reason to put it off another paycheck. Step 2, once you've got the hands-on time logged in, stack the NATE certification, the NATE. Stack that on top of it. That's where the real jump in pay kicks in. And if you want to keep climbing past that, specialize. I'm talking about commercial refrigeration, heat pump systems, building automations and controls. Every one of those is another rung most guys never touch, simply because they didn't even know it existed. And that ladder, my friends, is sitting right there for anybody who's willing to climb it. Most guys just never start. At the end of the day, guys, the gap between Mike and Dave isn't talent, it isn't luck, it is paperwork, and you can knock it out in one weekend. So picture where you'll be from now if you take the test this month instead of putting it off again. Like I said, it's the same tool belt, same truck, completely different paycheck. Now, certification gets you in the door, but it's not the only lever you've got to if you want to climb faster in this trade. I've got 2 videos on the end screen right now that go even deeper. One breaks down the fastest growing specialties inside HVAC, and the other ranks all kinds of cool stuff. Check out all our videos here on JV Charles TV, guys. I'm JV Charles. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.